Basketball fans, the Toronto Raptors are back at the BioSteel Centre for the rare second straight day of practice during the NBA season, but it's a new NBA season, new format, a little bit more luxurious for the players, a lot more rest time. Akil, Augustine, Paul Jones, Sherman Hamilton. Today we're discussing the Toronto Raptors offense because, of course, as you know, over the offseason, the mandate was it's got to change, it's got to catch up with the rest of the league. Let's take a look at the numbers. And department number one, three-point shooting, gentlemen, the numbers are up in both makes and attempts. The drawback here, Sherm, turnovers are up also for this group.
Well, the decisions have to be made at a higher pace, and you're talking about different people making decisions. In the past, you'd have basically your main ball handlers doing things that would dictate the offense. Now more people are involved, so the the turnovers are going to go up, and they're not up a significant amount. It's only a little over one per game. But more importantly, the assist totals are up, and that's significant, about 5 assists more per game this season. Last season, the Raptors were near the basement in terms of assists. This year, they're higher, and to me, that's an indication of a better understanding of how this offense flows, and also, more people involved, you become more difficult to defend, and that ball is being moved around the floor with efficiency.
Jonesy, when you look at these numbers, what jumps out to you?
Well, some of the numbers that jump at me aren't necessarily the ones that are there. They're ones that corroborate the style of play and how it's improved. The Raptors are in the top half of the league in passes made, and that just speaks to moving the ball and softening up the defense. Coach loves it when the ball gets to the second side, because all of a sudden guys that are on help side now are on the strong side. Strong side is now help side. Maybe help side will be late, and you can get buckets that way. You're moving the ball. And the other number that's not there that I think is important is the Raptors top 5 in the NBA in the hockey assist, the secondary assist, the pass that leads to the pass that is the assist.
The second swing.
The Benny Goodman offense, as I call it, swing, swing. And the Raptors are right up there with teams like Golden State and San Antonio, teams renowned for ball movement. So that says a lot to me too. And to Sherm's point, without the heavy dose of high screen and roll and lots of screen and roll, you do have more people making decisions, and that's why you're going to have turnovers. But at the same time, your main guys, DeMar DeRozan, in terms of scoring as the ball handler in screen and roll situations, is still amongst the leaders in the league. So it shows that he's giving the ball up, and he's picking and choosing when to go and making the right decisions when to go in those screen roll situations.
I'll stay with you, Jonesy, on this one, then I'll go to Sherm. Let's look at the defensive numbers, and what jumps out for you there?
Well, the fact that they're pretty much the same. I like that they're doing the same kinds of things defensively that they're trying to accomplish, because in all of this, offensive explosion that people get swept up into in terms of the three-point shooting and getting more threes up and playing with better pace, you still have to defend at the other end. Everybody wants to play like Golden State. Golden State's one of the top defensive teams in the league, and people forget that. I like the fact that the Raptors are doing that. They've made some tweaks defensively that, in terms of their screen roll, they're switching a lot more. They're doing a better job of getting those matches out on the perimeter where you have little on big and big on little, and they're still holding their own. And what that creates is a selfishness on the other team. So I like what the Raptors are doing with that.
Sherman, how impressed are you with the fact that they're keeping to the similar numbers but playing more guys, so more guys are buying into that defensive identity and keeping that string?
Well, I think it's crucial that defensively this team either maintains or raises their level of play, and they've been able to maintain it for the most part. Having said that, they're getting hurt on the opponent second chance points, a few more points this season. But I think overall, when you think about it, to Jonesy's point, they're playing a bit more of that switching defense. But what Dwayne Casey has, and we talked about this yesterday, is he has mobile young bigs that on the perimeter, they can jump out and they can kind of shade a quicker guard with the ball into certain areas or stay in front, contest shots, and just try to move their feet. So as they adjust offensively, defensively, they're making adjustments as well, and their adjustments are coming along. This switching defense that they're playing has paid off dividends, and they're also being a team that's understanding that their stops really fuels their offense. So if they want to get out and change the pace of a game, maybe play a bit more up-tempo at times, they've got to get stops, and we're seeing them buy into that now.
This group has stars in the backcourt. They've got surprise contributors in the front court, but that small forward position is super important. You're talking about OG Anunoby, right? And his contributions, also Norman Powell. What direction do they go? Does it matter if they choose? Does it matter if it's an interchangeable position? What's the story here for you, Sherman?
Well, for me personally, I like the fact that OG has hit the starting lineup and he's been seamless in terms of his production. And defensively, he's been asked to do some pretty impressive things, and he's answered the call. And you think about the numbers, the young man's shooting 62% in those starts. So he's efficient. He's scoring the same amount that Norman Powell scores as a starter. And you think about who he's playing with, guys like DeMar and Kyle. Those are the guys that are going to take the most of the shots. So if he's going to be more efficient and be able to produce offensively similar numbers, and defensively he has more size, he's wider, he's thicker, he's stronger, I think he's a good fit. And to Dwayne Casey's philosophy of least disruption, we've seen Norman Powell go back to the second unit, and he's been seamless. He's been aggressive. He's getting his looks. He's playing aggressively. I think it's a good fit to have OG in the starting lineup and have Norman come off the bench with those young guys who are trying to really impact the game.
I'm in agreement too, but also I want to say, how impressed are you? The one thing that people were worried about was, can this guy contribute on the offensive side of the ball? Can he knock down the three? Can he hit shots? Can he play? He can kind of do that, can't he?
I'm going to go back to what I always say. Give me a kid who's a defensive player, and I will give you a complete player. Because you can get in the gym, and OG is a testament to that. You can get in the gym and work on your offense. You can work with coaches, getting shots up, learning how to take the ball to the basket. I mean, they don't even shoot pull-up shots anymore because that's not in what Dwayne Casey calls the shot spectrum. They don't practice those a lot. So you see OG shooting a lot of catch-and-shoot, standstill threes and knocking them down, and also taking the ball all the way to the basket because that's the other shot that they want, a layup. And I love the fact that you've taken a defensive player and you're working on this kid's offense, and he's still got that mentality as a guy that wants to get into you, blow up the other team's plays, and play solid defense. As Sherman said, look at some of the guys he's guarded, from James Harden to Drew Holiday. I mean, they just put him out there and say, kid, maybe he doesn't know any better. Mikey likes it. Just like, kid, that's who we want you to guard, and he's doing a great job.
Well, Dwayne Casey couldn't be happier with his rookie, and also we got to catch up with him after practice, so let's see how happy he is now.
As long as the basket's 10 foot high, big guys going to have a place in our game at some point. There are, maybe nights where they go small and you can't. It doesn't mean that the guy's not valuable. Jonas is a skilled player, he's valuable, and so it's those nights, and again, he just had a good matchup, with Dedmon.
Tomorrow's matchup.
Well, he will definitely have one tomorrow night with Howard, who's one of the most dynamic big guys in the league. So, that'll be a good matchup for he, Yak, and Lucas.
After those kind of games, Indiana was really tough. We kind of, I don't know what happened. If I would know, I would change it. But it was a rough game. It was really good to bounce back in Atlanta. It was a good team win. Everybody played well and everybody had some minutes. Everybody enjoyed the basketball, seems to me. So great, more wins like that.
The Indy game is tough. They're playing well. They play hard. It was tough. I definitely felt like I could have made a difference in that game. I mean, I feel like I can in every game, but that game especially. The Atlanta game, guys got a bounce back, took care of business, got out there, and like I said, that bench came in the game and really put their foot on their neck. Those young guys are playing extremely well, man. And it's great to see Freddie's hard work coming to fruition. You hate to see a guy go down, but it's part of the business, it's part of the game, and him being able to step up and play in big moments and lead that group, and to see Pete Skills keep growing, to see Yacht keep growing, and it's even more fun for me because I get to be with those guys every night on the floor and see them take steps and see them get better and better.
Still more to come after the break. We break down the next opponent for the Toronto Raptors, Kemba Walker, the new and improved Dwight Howard, at the Charlotte Hornets.